I found something on the internet that most people have not seen. This is the only known photo of Cherie Glenn. This is a leaked booking photo. It's from like back in the 80s when she was one of the most famous cannibals in the US before she was caught by police. The reason the photo was leaked is because at the time, her appearance was considered so disturbing for most people that it was decided that they would conceal her booking photo as well as her interrogation footage. Even the nature of her crimes is not public information that was also sealed in the affidavit, as it was described as highly grotesque and complex. Even today, there's not much public information that's known about where she's being held, and that leaked photo is the only image that has ever been seen of one of America's most terrifying women.
I just killed Cassie. We just left her house. This is not a fucking joke. I stabbed her.
So what's your parents?
Something really scary happened to me. I don't want this to happen to anybody else. I opened my Snapchat for the first time in a long time, and I saw that I had a new friend named Al. I don't know an Al. I haven't added an Al. I messaged Al and I said, "Who is this?" And he said, "Hey, it's my Al. How are you doing?" Off the bat, he has poor grammar. So I messaged him again. I said, "How did you get my Snapchat?" And he said, "I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable. You added me as a friend on Snapchat." Believe me when I say I did not add Al on Snapchat. I don't know an Al. I'm literally shaking thinking about this. So I said, "No, I didn't. I didn't add you on Snapchat." And he said, "I'm sorry. I must have been mistaken. Maybe we have mutual friends." And I said, "You added me on Snapchat. You're a liar." And then he gaslights me, trying to make me think that I added him. I'm really lucky that I'm not stupid or gullible, or I could have fallen for his tricks. So I asked Al, I said, "Did you hack my Snapchat?" And he said, "No, I didn't hack your Snapchat account. If you're concerned about the security of your account, you can contact Snapchat support to report any suspicious activity." So I reported him. He's literally trying to manipulate me into trusting him. Then I go to block him and I can't. I swear he hacked my Snapchat. Please tag Snapchat. We need to get to the bottom of this.
I think I found a genie lamp. What the actual fuck is this? It's got a sealed, it's heavy as shit too. Okay, this is a mystery. Okay, I couldn't get it off with one hand, but I just loosened it. I haven't looked in it yet. Oh, it's just full of water. What the actual shit? What is this? Why is it here? What? Oh, it's got a number inside. 635. Whatever that means. Dude, did I just like disturb someone's urn? Oh, fuck me. Fuck me. Look what's wrote on the fucking bottom. Cremation identification. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, that's not Trevor, is it? Oh, fuck. Dear Father, I have returned, and I ask that I may return Trevor Coates to his final resting place. I apologize for what I have done. I ask that you take him back. R.I.P. Trevor, and I apologize for bringing you up.
This is the disturbing truth behind Scooby-Doo. In the late 1960s, deep in a hidden facility in Roswell, New Mexico, the U.S. government launched Operation Spectre Hound. The goal? To create a team of undercover operatives capable of solving mysteries no one else could. But their star creation was Project Scooby, a genetically engineered Great Dane with enhanced intelligence. Fred, Daphne, Velma, and Shaggy weren't just a group of teens. They were recruits. Fred, the born leader, was trained in military tactics. Daphne, the master of disguise, specialized in infiltration. Velma was the genius codebreaker. And Shaggy, well, Shaggy was the bait, often used to distract or confuse targets. One night, their mission brought them to the headquarters of a massive tech company, rumored to have ties to illegal experiments. The team was tasked with retrieving confidential documents hidden deep within the facility, but something went wrong. As they moved through the dark, high-security building, they discovered a secret lab filled with cages, each containing twisted, failed experiments, some barely alive. Then it happened. An alarm blared, doors locked, Scooby was captured, pulled into a containment cell. Velma scrambled to disable the lockdown, while Fred and Daphne fought off guards. But the real horror? Shaggy disappeared without a trace. When Velma finally unlocked the system, all they found was Scooby's empty cage and a cryptic note scratched into the floor. "You're next." The team never returned to the military. They abandoned their mission and vanished completely, driven by a single goal, finding Shaggy no matter the cost.
sudden appearance of this girl is startling on its own. It's what happens earlier that's by far the most baffling. Immediately after arriving to the second floor, its door, for some reason, begins to open and close while staying on the same floor. But even stranger is that a faint voice is heard inside the elevator.
However, coined the phrase, "You can't make this stuff up," might have known the story of real-life boogeyman, Albert Fish. A slight, elderly man with grey hair, no one suspected the kindly single father of being sadistic child murderer and cannibal.
This is the Pitbull video, one of the hardest cartel execution videos to watch explained. The video that I'm about to explain is extremely graphic and I don't recommend searching for it. The video begins with the man lying on his back on the ground, and two men are holding his legs open. He's being restrained. And in total, there is 5 perpetrators and 1 victim. And also 2 pit bull dogs. Apparently, this is the victim's punishment for allegedly doing something with a kid or to a kid. The victim is naked, and at the start of the video, the dog has done most of the work. The dog already ripped off the man's privates, and it's just a bloody mess. The dog continues to rip pieces of flesh off of where his privates used to be, and the victim is being held down, and he is also gagged so he can't scream. But sometimes the gag came loose, and at this point you could hear the man scream in pain. The victim was even talking, but I couldn't translate it, but that means he was completely conscious during this, which I can't even imagine the pain. As a man, this might be one of the worst videos out there. Funky Town is bad, Ghost Rider is bad, but as a man, I can't imagine anything more painful than a pit bull ripping off your junk while you're still alive. Not many people mention this video with the other disturbing ones, but it's definitely up there. There's not any information about the victim after the video. I don't know if he died, but it's safe to assume he did. He lost a lot of blood, and if a dog eats your privates, you will most likely get an infection and die from it. All in all, this video is very graphic, very real, and very disturbing. Please do yourself a favor and never go searching for this video, especially if you're a man. These are the worst of the worst videos on the internet explained, and today we're talking about the Pitbull video. The video that I'm about to explain is extremely graphic, and I don't recommend searching for it. This is a cartel execution, and the video begins with the victim lying on his back on the ground, and 2 men are holding his legs open. He's being restrained. And in total, there are 5 cartel members, 1 victim, and also 2 pit bull dogs. Apparently, this is the victim's punishment for allegedly doing something with a kid or to a kid. The victim is naked, and at the start of the video, the dog has done most of the work. The dog already ripped the man's privates off, and it's just a bloody mess. The dog continues to rip pieces of flesh off where the victim's privates used to be, and the victim is being held down, and he is also being gagged so he can't scream. But sometimes the gag came loose, and at that point you can hear the man scream in absolute pain. The victim was even talking, but I couldn't translate it, but that means he was completely conscious during this, which I can't even imagine the pain. As a man, this might be one of the worst videos out there. Funky Town is bad, Ghost Rider is bad, but as a man, I can't imagine anything more painful than a pit bull ripping your junk off while you're still alive. Not many people mention this video with the other disturbing ones, but it's definitely up there. There's not any information about the victim after the video. I don't know if he died, but it's safe to assume he did. He lost a lot of blood, and if a dog eats your privates, you will most likely get an infection and die from it. All in all, this video is very graphic, very real, and very disturbing. Please do yourself a favor and never go searching for this video, especially if you're a man.
You're an adult, correct? Juvenile and juvenile, correct? Am I right? Mm-hmm. You two are under 18 and you're 18. You're all going to be booked with first-degree premeditated murder. You two will go to the Juvenile Assessment Center. You will go to the Marion County Jail. Okay? Take a deep breath. You'll have no bond. You won't be getting out.
How many years?
Oh, honey, this is not... Listen to me. Everybody just take a deep breath.
Like, well, and we really didn't do anything.
No. See, but you did. Yeah. First of all, let's get over that hump right now, okay? That we really didn't do anything because everybody's complicit here. A person died. A person was murdered, okay? We all knew about it. We all planned it. We were all involved in getting it done. So let's hop that hurdle first, okay? Let's man up to the fact that, damn it, this was a pretty heinous crime and we all had something to do with it. Now we got to deal with what will happen to us from that, okay?
Yeah, well, it was like the fact, like, I know I was scared because Mike had a gun and
Oh, you know what? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Do you think we haven't been listening to everything you guys have been saying in here? Are you that stupid, really?
I know.
Then just stop. Because I don't even, lying to me just makes me just, ugh. I hate it.
I wasn't lying.
Oh, yeah, you were. You lied about a few things.
This is Peter Scully, one of the worst pedophiles in world history. I'm about to tell you his story, but seriously, guys, this one is incredibly disturbing. It's so dark, and viewer discretion is really advised for this video. So Peter Scully, he's still alive. He was from Australia. He had a family there, but he was engaging in criminal activities, and he eventually fled the country and moved to the Philippines. And this is where the darkness really began. While he was in Australia, Peter Scully started up an international child sex abuse ring. The things that were done to these kids are, I mean, I can't even talk about them here on TikTok, but he also started up a pay-per-view video service. And with these videos, he was producing CP, but one of the most extreme forms of CP that can possibly be produced. So how did all this happen? Well, when he was out living in the Philippines, Peter Scully had 2 Filipina girlfriends. They would go out to the streets, they would find kids that needed money or looked impoverished, they would bring them back to the house they shared with Peter, and the things that went on afterwards are literally unspeakable. Remember, like I mentioned before, Peter was the head of an international ring of people that enjoyed the abuse of kids, and he provided videos for these clients. But his most infamous video was titled Daisy's Destruction. This video that he produced was so extreme, so hardcore that people on the internet, when they heard about what happened in the video, literally thought that it was an urban legend, and they thought that there was no way this could be real. This is an actual screenshot of the beginning of the video. This is a screenshot from the very beginning of the video. In the video, 3 young girls are repeatedly tortured for hours and hours on end by Peter Scully and his 2 girlfriends from the Philippines. They are beaten, they are sexually abused. I mean, I can't even describe, like I said on TikTok, some of the things that happened in this video. And 18-month-old Daisy. Now keep in mind that all of this was on camera. That's the most disturbing part of this. One of Peter's victims actually ended up dying. They were buried in his house. And this sick individual literally sold that video footage across the world. And what's even more disturbing is that there were lots of people willing to pay to see that video. I'm not kidding. People were paying $10,000 to view this video. That is absolute insanity that there are people that sick out there in the world. And this is only the beginning of the crimes that this guy carried out. Some of the other stuff that we're going to touch on is absolutely disgusting. It's just horrific. And the story of how Peter Scully was eventually identified and arrested is extremely captivating. I'm going to run out of time here on this video, but if you want to see a part 2, let me know below. The story is far from over.
Sometimes true for stranger than fiction. The case of Richard Trenton Chase is a story which even the most depraved horror writer would struggle to create. Over the course of 4 weeks spanning across 1977 and 1978, Richard Chase took the lives of 6 innocent victims in Sacramento, California. His murders gradually progressed in violence, beginning with drive-by shootings and culminating in acts of cannibalism.
Shirley Temple was absolutely abused by Hollywood. These are some of the darkest things that happened to her. So at age 3, Shirley started dancing. And that's when she began to appear in things called baby burlesques, a title which is already just extremely disturbing. And Shirley Temple herself described these films as a cynical exploitation of our childish innocence that occasionally were racist or sexist. She also claimed that when she misbehaved on set at this young age, she was locked in a windowless sound booth and forced to sit on a block of ice. I mean, what? There was also a film role that she had when she was under 10 years old where she played a prostitute. And all you have to do is look at all of the clips and videos of these films that Shirley was in where she's kissing men, they're acting like they're in love with her. I mean, it's really disturbing stuff. When Shirley was 12 years old, she signed a contract with MGM Studios. And during her first visit to the studio, she met a producer named Arthur Freed. And according to Shirley, when she walked into his office for a private meeting, he unbuttoned his trousers. He then said, "I've got something here made especially for you." She then giggled nervously and the producer kicked her out of the office. This is a moment that she's talked about on shows like Larry King Live. Then, when Shirley was 17 years old, a producer tried to grape her. Apparently, the producer was David O. Selznick, an infamous old Hollywood guy. And one time when he was in private with her, he circled around a couch trying to get to her. She tried to evade him. He even locked the door, but Shirley eventually managed to escape before he could do anything to her. Keep in mind, she was still a minor at this time.
She also talked many times about how producers and other people in Hollywood demanded that she sleep with them if she wanted to get a contract or be involved in a new production. And I'm sure that there were so many dark things that happened to her when she was younger that she never talked about, never wanted to bring up again, and things that have been forgotten with time. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The Shirley Temple iceberg goes really, really deep. Just check out this clip of her speaking on Larry King Live.
I went to MGM for one picture, thank goodness only one. And when I got there with my mother, we were separated. She went into the office of Louis B. Mayer, and I went into the office of Arthur Freed. And he was going to talk to me about a movie he wanted to put me in. I'm 12 years old, you know. And I thought he was a producer, but instead he was an exhibitor. And I'd never seen anyone naked before, except myself. So I had no clue about what was happening. And so it struck me so funny, I laughed at him, and I laughed uproariously. I had tears, you know, and he got infuriated. And he said, out, 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 go.
Did you tell your mother?
Well, I was very quiet. I went down and met her in the lobby of the administration building. She came out very quietly from Louis B. Mayer's office, and we walked hand in hand silently to the car, which was unusual. We got in the car driving home. I said, Mom, you won't believe what happened to me. And I told her what happened, and she got kind of quiet. She said, well, you don't know what happened to me. And Louis B. Mayer wasn't as bad as Freed was to me.
You tried
but
it?
He came on to my mother. And so we both decided